which is, where are we? June. Today, 2022. Lovely to see you all. Welcome to members of the public and staff, members of the press, councillors, deputy mayor, ladies. Are we away? We are live streaming. Thank you very much. Councillor Kingi, would I be able to ask you to give us a blessing for the day, please? Thank you.
Thank you, Worship. Tuia ki te mauri o te whenua. Tuia ki te mana o te tangata. Tuia ki te pono, te aroha. Kia piki, kia eke, ki te taumata. Hui e, tai ki e.
Thank you very much, Councillor Kingi. Yeah, of course. Good idea. Yes, so we just received recently news, the sad news of the passing of former Deputy Mayor, Long-Term Councillor Christine McKelwee, and I think it's only fitting on behalf of her service to the community has been over a number of years, whether it's the racing club or the council or various other organisations, Acacia Bay Residents Association, all those organisations. So I'm just wondering if we could just have a minute's silence for Christine, please. Thank you very much, councillors. Item 1 on the agenda today is apologies. We have one from Councillor Leonard, and other than that, we have a full house. So could I have a mover, please? Thank you. Councillor Rankin, seconded by Councillor Mack. All those in favour, please say aye. Against, carried. And item 2, any conflicts of interest pertaining to the items today? No, we'll carry on then. Item 3.1 is the ordinary council meeting, confirmation of the minutes, 23rd of May. Any points of clarification of those minutes? Councillor Boddy?
If I may, on page 4 of that particular minutes, or page 7 of the agenda, at the bottom, category 2.4, wastewater, we could just read out, councillors suggested that council should proactively engage with the community regarding Three Waters, because there was a lot of misinformation and misunderstanding. Has that been done or attempted to be done, or is it a little bit early yet?
Mr. Green?
I think all I'll say is that we've got the workshop coming up with councillors on the, I think it's the 5th of this month, to go through our draft submission, and our view was that we would then circulate that from that point. Julie, is there anything additional?
So the intention is, once we've debated a position, to make that public and then encourage people to use the select committee process to submit their thoughts as well to government. So,
Thank you very much. Any other queries of those minutes? Can I have a mover, please? Thank you, Councillor King. Seconded by Councillor Boddy. All those in favour, please say aye. It's against, carried. 3.2 is the 31st of May ordinary council meeting. Any clarification of those minutes? No, could I have a mover, please? Thank you, Councillor Westerman. Seconded by Councillor Truman. All those in favour, please say aye. It's against, carried. The last meeting there, 31st of May 2022. Any points of clarification on those minutes? No. Thank you, Councillor Guy, seconded by Councillor Taylor. All those in favour, please say aye. Against, carried. 4.1, revoking of 5 Mile Bay Water Capital Works rate. Very good.
Did we do the confidential minutes?
Do we do those now or later?
No, it's in the list of the 31st of May.
But we have done it.
We've done it. Okay, that's great.
Yeah. Was that the 31st of May ones? Yeah, sorry, John. I should have mentioned they were the confidential minutes as well. Aidan, good afternoon, sir. How are you?
Good afternoon, Your Worship. Good afternoon, Councillors.
Good.
Just a quick reminder of this issue. Council consulted on and determined to implement a targeted rate for 5 Mile Bay in December 2020. That was to pay for half of the capital cost of extending Council's reticulated water down to 5 Mile Bay. Several months later, and after district-wide consultation as part of the 2021 long-term plan, Council adopted a district-wide funding approach. So this latter decision meant that individual communities no longer had to pay for the specific water costs related to their system. Instead, all the costs of water services are pooled throughout the district and the cost is shared. So that meant that original 5 Mile Bay decision is no longer consistent with this latter decision and the new funding approach. So we recommend permanently revoking the 5 Mile Bay water capital rate, just for consistency with this new funding approach. Just a reminder of the process. We discussed the issue with you at a workshop in February, and we subsequently consulted as part of the annual plan. There was little feedback and no contention or concerns raised in the feedbacks in the paper. We've also consulted whakaaro based on the new funding approach. So that would be consistent with revoking the 5 Mile Bay water rate. So this is really the formal decision of that process. In terms of refunds, normally Council would not refund a rate that was rightfully collected and then later revoked under a decision or cancelled. However, in this instance, the inconsistency happened because the new funding approach came into place at 1 July 2021, and that was also when the new 5 Mile Bay rate came into place. So just due to the timing, we recommend you direct us to credit back the amount paid for last year, just for inconsistency with the new funding approach. It's a small amount of money for the district as a whole, $11,000, but for individual people down there, it's meaningful. In terms of implementation, the revoking will happen by your adoption of the attached amendment to the Revenue and Financing Policy, which strikes out the rate, and in a couple of weeks' time, when you adopt the annual plan and set rates, the rate will also be removed through that process. Last comment from me is communications. When we send out the next rate invoices to the 5 Mile Bay ratepayers, we'll include a letter just noting that Council have revoked this, explaining why, and highlighting that they no longer have to pay it and that they've been credited for the previous amount against that invoice. That's it.
Very good. Thank you, Aidan. Thank you, Aidan, for your item here today. Any questions or queries of Aidan regarding the credit? We'll just credit, obviously, against their rates demand.
That's right.
Yeah, cool. All right. Very good. I don't think there's any questions. Resolution up on the... What's the name there? 1, 2 and 3. Everyone happy with that? Over move it, please. Thank you, Councillor Williamson. Seconded by Councillor Park. All those in favour, please say aye. Those against, carried. Thank you, Aidan.
Thank you very much.
4.2, Health, Safety and Wellbeing Report. We have Mrs. Michelle McGill. Hello, Michelle. How are you? Good. Just the red light, sorry, Michelle.
Oh.
Yeah, sorry. Just
Hello.
start again.
So yeah, just saying that there's a bit more activity in health and safety, just reflective of the works going on in the region and everyone back at work. You know, the previous period was very much a holiday period for a lot of staff, so quite low incident rates for the previous report. Once again, it's pleasing to see that although there's several quite a significant number of incidents, but they all are representative of no treatment or minor first aid, so which is expected in the workplace. So, are there any questions on the report?
Very good. Thanks, Michelle. Thank you. Good to see you. Councillor Body.
Mr. Chairman, I do, and it's a use of a word. Serious incidents, fatality at the AC baths.
Sure.
When I looked up the noun for that word, it states it's an occurrence of death by accident in war or from disease. Fatality has that description, and yet it was a medical event. Should we not have the headline a medical event at the AC baths?
That's a good point. I've just taken it from the WorkSafe definitions of what's notifiable.
Okay, so why it
Sorry.
wasn't a fatality? Yeah, as
Yeah.
such. Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
And just very quickly, and I've raised this before, the one to do with the branch dislodging from trees, those trees have been a hazard in my mind for the 9 years I've sat at this table. It continually sheds, and this was an accident waiting to happen. We were lucky it wasn't a fatality. And I unfortunately do not accept the fact that it's periodically looked at by arborists, because arborists can't tell something they can't see. And so those trees are of concern, Mr. Chairman.
Cool. Thank you, Mr. Waddy. I'm sure the Reserves Committee will look at those at some stage if we get a request in.
No, yes, thanks, through the chair. Not really a question, just thanks for an excellent report.
Oh,
Michelle.
thank you.
Just interested in the working participation practices. Obviously, a lot of challenges through COVID.
Yeah.
How do you, what's your feeling how that's gone, notwithstanding the challenges, the
I-
engagement?
Yes, certainly, COVID has, impacted on well-being in the workplace, for sure, and a lot of it is out of our control, like obviously financial, we're going through a financial crisis externally, New Zealand as a whole, even globally. So, the impacts are certainly on everybody. It's not just reflective of the workplace, but we're very mindful of it, and we've done completed a survey to address what we can control.
So through you, Mr. Chairman. Chemix Civil, it's on page 34.
Yeah.
The site was shut down until investigation was complete. Now it's got down here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 factors that hadn't been taken into account. Who's responsible? Don't we not have a register of contractors that must meet certain health and safety obligations before they're signed on? There's
Okay.
5 there that appears as though they weren't met. So what's the what's the liability to council if there'd been a fatality?
Sorry, was that a question?
Yeah.
Did you?
Here's a question.
Can you answer that one, Michelle?
We do have processes in place, like we do have a contractor pre-qualification scheme, but once again that's just a snapshot in time. It does demonstrate that the contractors do have a health and safety management system in place, and in their management system those 5 items should have been addressed, and in this case they weren't, and CAMEX were very transparent in putting their hand up and saying it didn't happen and have addressed it, and we were very fortunate that no one did get hurt, and I do take on board what you're saying.
Concerned that we do have that register, and I thank you for that explanation. But if something like this happens, we've signed contractors on that haven't met the obligations of the contract, which is health and safety.
Yeah. And it is a part of the procurement process, for sure. I'm not
Yeah,
sure
yeah.
how else to answer that, really. Other than we do have a system in place, but, there is a failure in the system.
I guess, Councillor Boddy, you're absolutely right, and ultimately we are a PCBU in this situation as well. When these contractors are undertaking work for us, we have an obligation, and we undertake different ways of doing that. Part of that's the pre-qualification. We do audits. The project managers are always managing what's happening on the site. The responsibility, if you like, is shared between ourselves and the contractors on the site and subbies, but certainly as the principal, it's our responsibility to make sure that we're covering all those things off where we can. We won't get it right every time, and obviously some things got missed by the contractor in this situation. As Michelle says, the positive thing is that they've put their hand up and been able to identify those and put the fixes in place pretty quickly, which is a good thing.
Through you, Mr. Chairman, I think one, you may have an exemption and say, yes, they made a mistake, but it's 5.
Yeah. I did attend their monthly health and safety meeting as well, so we do support, we do support our contractors too, as well as being there to see where their faults are.
Okay. Thank you. Any other Question, just with that, the council body referred to the tree branch dislodged at the windscreen. Did that loop get closed as far as the clients were concerned? Do you know, Michelle? Were they? Oh, Nigel's nodding. Yeah. Thank
Yes,
you, Nigel.
Your Worship, it did get closed out with the client,
Okay.
with the customer.
Cool. Very good. Thank you very much. Okay, health and safety. Very nice. Thank you, Michelle. We have a resolution up there. We just received the report. Thank you. Could I have a mover, please? Thank you. Councillor Rankin, seconded by Councillor Park. All those in favour, please say aye. Those against? Carried. 4.3. Taupō District Council Performance Report. Mr. Green.
So, Your Worship, I've got Panel going to help me, is going to help me present this item this month. Just while Panel's coming up to the podium, just in terms of my starting commentary there, I acknowledged at the start there that we won the Buttle Finley Award for Māori Council Partnerships at the Taituara Awards, which was amazing and a great achievement for the team and by association for you as a council. One thing that's not in the report, because it came after that, was that we also recently won both the Healthy Place Award for the Great Lake Taupo Walkway, shared pathway. Freudian slip, sorry Rowan if you're watching, and one of our staff members, Rui Kohiti, who is out at Mangakino in the parks area, won the Parks Person of the Year. So pretty significant award. So just want to acknowledge those three achievements that we had over the month. But we'll hand over to Panel to walk through some of the projects.
Tēnā koutou katoa. I'm just going to be talking to you today about the significant projects section of the monthly performance report. Obviously that's a program of significant projects across our council, and as you know we've been reporting on this for several months now, so I just wanted to step you through where we're at as it comes close to financial year end. Positively, this month across the portfolio we're up in terms of percent complete across all of these projects, bearing in mind that a number of them are multi-year, so a small percent increase means quite a large and significant construction, from 47 to 50% complete, and nominally that we're up to about 75% of total full-year spend across that program. And just to compare, the month prior we were at about 67%. So the positive side of obviously the cost component, we've gone from 3 reds down to 2 reds. As you know, Quantum's now in amber as it has been re-baselined as part of the annual plan process. Other than that, everything remains the same. In terms of the time component, all projects remain the same, except there's been a reduction of 1 red down for Quantum for the similar reasons, and obviously Taupo North Wastewater Solution is the only other that remains red on the time component. There's been a reduction of 1 orange. Turangi-Tongariro is no longer orange as a result of the clarification of requirements and the securing of contractors for that important project in Turangi. There's 2 other projects that have a red for budget, and that is the Taupo Airport and Drinking Water Standards New Zealand Kinloch upgrade. However, as a result of this meeting, it's possible that the Drinking Water Standards New Zealand will secure funding from the annual plan being ratified. So, if you have any questions?
Just quick clarification in regards to Quantum, I noticed the on time's gone back to orange, so is that just to show that it's not on time? We had last month it was green. If I'm right.
You're absolutely right. Sorry, I don't know the answer to that, but I'll come back to you, Mr. Bott.
Through the year, just with the risk of sounding pedantic, just under the Three Waters reform activities, but our workshop is July the 4th, it's actually the 5th, so July the 5th report.
Yes, and I would add that the figure that's associated with the percent complete for Three Waters reform is obviously very high level. We don't really know how far through we are in terms of the workload there, so it's a nominal number. But yes, you're right. Don't turn up on the 4th.
regarding the traffic lights or anything like that? No? All pretty. It's all right, which is good. Thanks, Manel.
Thank you.
Yeah, get back to your busy workload. Thank you very much for coming today. Okay, now have a discussion on the report. Could I have a minute, please? All those in favour, please say aye. Against, carried. Right, council engagement, Shaney, 4.4.
Thank you, Your Worship. One addition to the list is an extraordinary council meeting at 10 o'clock on Tuesday, the 19th of July, for you to adopt the annual plan and set the rates
Right.
for the forthcoming financial year. Thank you.
Cool. Very good. What time of the day was that? Sorry? 10 a.m. Okay. Very good. Thank you very much. Nothing else to report, Shani? All good? Okay. Just a mover for that, thanks, Councillor Taylor. Second, Councillor Williamson. All those in favour, please say aye. Against, carried. Members' reports, 4.5. Anything, Councillor Body? Councillor Guy? Councillor Tom? John? No slides from the international visit? No. Mum and Dad just come back from overseas. We always had to have a slideshow on a Sunday night. Yeah, he's organising that good for some baking. Councillor Rankin.
Oh, I just wanted to mention again, I mentioned it this morning, but we went to the opening of the CAT. Thank you. We went to the opening of the CAT scanner at the hospital, you and I.
Yes.
You cut the ribbon, and it's a wonderful achievement for Taupō, so I'm really pleased about it.
I cut the ribbon, you went on the machine.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
I didn't, but I would have liked to have. I tried to do it, but I wasn't allowed.
And thank you for your amazing work on that. You know, like it's one less trip to Rotorua for people, for Waikato
Absolutely.
indeed. So,
It's
especially
huge
people
for the
from
community.
Turangi, you know, it's a massive trip. It's a whole day out, isn't it? So well done.
Thank you.
Cool. Very good, Councillor Westerman. All good? Good, yeah. You were going to say something.
Keep it brief. But just in terms of the opening of the new pathway on next to the ETA yesterday, just want to acknowledge that project and the significant number of people who are already using that, and just going back to the Great Lake Pathway, and if you go out there most evenings and every weekend, it is absolutely chocker with people enjoying that. So I just want to acknowledge the staff that put in the time to do the budget bid and to get that money. Extraordinary community asset which is being used all the time. Just great to see.
Sometimes we don't stop and think about these things enough when you look at all the additions that we've had in the last few years. It's been incredible. That pathway is, wow, you can bike to the airport, all those residents up there bike to the airport now, you know, sort of thing. So, thank you, Councillor Taylor. Councillor Park. Thank you, Councillor Williamson.
Thank you, Your Worship. Yeah, just endorse Councillor Taylor's comments. I attended that as well yesterday. Fabulous facility, amenity. A couple of environmental ones I attended zoomed into Turangi-Tongariro River Forum meeting on the 3rd, and attended the greening Taupo planting at Crown Park with kids greening topic. David was there with massive turnout. The kids, school kids, absolutely so rewarding to see the engagement with the community, and not just that, the sponsors and the businesses as well.
Yeah.
Absolutely fabulous.
No, you're right. The commercial sponsors are the ones that blew me away. Nothing related to the purpose of the thing, but we're happy to support, which is great. Thank you, Councillor Williamson. Right, that's it, I think. So, do I have a mover that we just accept those reports? Thank you. Councillor Mack, seconded by Councillor Taylor, thank you. Right, we will go into conference. It's a public part of the meeting closed. We didn't have any public here, did we? Thank you. Moved by Councillor Park, seconded by Councillor Taylor. Go into conference for the reasons. All those in favour,